How I helped my friend fake her death to get out of gym class. When I was younger, I really hated gym class, and so did all my friends. And one of my friends started crying one day. She was like, I don't want to do gym. I don't want to. I have asthma. She didn't have asthma either. But one day in the gym locker room, we thought we were geniuses. I told her, I was like, okay, then just fake an asthma attack to get out of gym. Like I said, this girl didn't have asthma, so she had no clue what an asthma attack looked like. She started getting on the floor and convulsing. And I whispered to her, I said, this does not look real. But the gym teacher saw, and she was like, oh my gosh, she's seizing. Guys, help. And they called a stretcher into the school. And an ambulance took her away. And the whole time she was being taken away to the hospital, I was so scared. I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna find out I lied and then I'm gonna get sent away again. And I didn't get any updates for the rest of the day. I come back the next day, and apparently she actually had a seizure. Fully tested and everything. I was like, what in the world type manifestation is this to get out of gym class? And I stopped talking to her because I was scared that she was a witch. I've seen so many people talk about sassy boyfriends, but I think that I saw the worst case of it yesterday. So yesterday, I went to the grocery store to get cereal. I just wanted to be quick in, quick out. But as soon as I started approaching the cereal aisle, I heard sass. I was preparing myself to see a prepubescent boy with his mom throwing a fit about going to the grocery store. I was very surprised when I walked into the aisle and saw a full-grown man with his girlfriend. She was like, honey, pick a cereal, let's go. And a literal teenage boy, he was going, I don't want cereal, I want oatmeal. So she took him over to the oatmeal and he was like, never mind, this all looks disgusting. And I was like, girl, how are you tolerating this? I wouldn't like a kid talking to his mother like that, let alone a guy and his girlfriend. So bro kept yapping. He kept switching between cereal and oatmeal. I was like, I don't want either of these. These both sound disgusting. So she finally picked up a box of cereal and was just like, okay, we're getting this. And he was like, okay, sweetie. He did a full 180. He just completely changed. He changed his opinion. He was totally fine with that. So girl, if you see this, I'm thinking of you. I feel like seeing teachers in public can never be normal. Last year, I needed to get some groceries for my family, and I was not ready to socialize. I had pajamas on, a messy bun, greasy hair. I thought I was going to be so embarrassed if anyone I knew saw me. Anyway, I went to the store, and I went to the cereal aisle. I looked down to the ground to see a full-grown man with cat ears on and a maid costume crawling. I was like, who in the world is that? And immediately when that thought came to my mind, I saw this man's face. It was my chemistry teacher. And when we made eye contact, he immediately stood up and just pretended like he didn't see me. But you know what? I was feeling a little bit pokey, so I went up to him and I said, hey, Mr. Jones, how are you doing today? He told me he was wearing his outfit because he was out of laundry, but I know that wasn't true. That costume could have fit a 5-year-old girl. When I saw him in school the next morning, we didn't even look at each other. We had a whole silent period the next day. I never told anyone till now, so I guess the secret's out. I cannot understand when parents have such obvious favorite children. I still remember over 3 years ago when I worked a cashier job and a mother came in with her 2 children. Everything about them seemed normal at first. There was a boy and a girl. They looked about the same age, probably twins. At oldest, maybe 7 years old. She had her daughter sitting in the shopping cart, which at our store that's allowed. And her son was free range. Not standing beside her nicely. Taking soda bottles from the cooler and smashing them on the ground. Right in front of me and my coworkers. Frankly, it was none of my business. I didn't say anything. I didn't really care. What did upset me though, is when her daughter asked for a single candy bar. It was a $1 candy bar. And this woman looked down at her and said, that's disgusting. Absolutely not. You should be more feminine than that. Are we not going to talk about your son causing explosions right behind you? I know you can hear it. I know you can see it. Yeah, so daughter was brought to tears. And finally, I had to say something about her son's behavior when he threw a bottle at my head. I said, ma'am, please, he's hurting me. And she said, boys will be boys. Shut up! Not in my store, they won't. How I got talent shows banned from my school. Back in elementary school, my school hosted an annual talent show. And it was kind of boring. People were just singing or dancing, nothing out of the ordinary. And I wanted to change that up. I decided to lie and say that I was trained with fire and that I could juggle fire. I don't understand how they believed it, but they let me compete. I was kind of nervous about juggling fire because, I didn't know how to juggle fire. But I also didn't really want to practice either. I was feeling lazy. So the night of the talent show came and I brought a box of matches to school. When it was my turn to go on stage, my heart dropped. I realized I couldn't pretend anymore. I was struggling to light the matches on stage, and one of the judges yelled up to me that I'm taking too long and I'll be disqualified if I keep taking forever. That was a mistake on her part. As soon as I managed to get the matches lit, I went into a fit of rage. I started throwing matches at the judging table. Lit matches. Luckily, the judges' table was kind of far away, and I wasn't a very strong child, so it didn't reach the table, but it got close. The judges ended up calling the police on me, and I had to explain to them my fit of rage. I didn't get in trouble, but I had to go to counseling. Another reason why I got sent to juvenile detention. When I was younger, I was an entrepreneur. Business was calling my name. I knew that I could make money if I tried. And I also knew that kids loved animals. So in second grade, when I saw a rat in the bathroom, I knew exactly what I had to do. I picked it up with my bare hands and I put it in the vent. And I named him Jerry Cheese after my grandpa. I decided that I could get some good money by charging kids to pet Jerry Cheese. And I told the kids that if they pet him, they would get magical powers. I would charge kids a quarter and a block of cheese to be able to pet him. So they were feeding him, taking care of him, and giving me money. It was perfect. It started becoming an issue, though, when Jerry Cheese became aggressive. So this one kid that I got really weird vibes about gave me 25 cents and cheese. And he goes to pet Jerry Cheese, and Jerry Cheese bites him. Probably because he has bad vibes. And he snitched on me. This kid claimed he got some sort of rat disease. I know that didn't happen. Jerry Cheese was clean. But the school believed him, so I got suspended. And it was on my record. Why I was deathly afraid of dogs when I was little. So when I was younger, my house had a Chihuahua. You know, a small dog. Evil but harmless. One day, for show and tell, this kid says, "Oh, I'm gonna bring in my puppy." I thought that was adorable. I loved puppies. My Chihuahua was the size of one. And every day until show and tell on Friday, this kid kept talking up his dog. How cute he was, how exotic he was. I was like, what kind of dog is this? The day before show and tell, this boy came up to me and he told me, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you my dog bites, but it's a secret." I did not like the sound of that. But he said it was a puppy, so probably harmless. The next day, the bell rang, and the kid wasn't there. He didn't even show up to school. He lied to me. No, 10 minutes later, he walks in late with a coyote. A full-grown coyote. And he was able to get away with it by lying to the teacher. He said it was a German Shepherd. I knew it wasn't a German Shepherd because my aunt had one. But you know, it was still cute. I thought it was a mutt. I didn't realize it was a coyote. I went up to pet it, and it bit my hand. Hard. It started making really weird growling noises and I didn't like it. And the next Monday, the kid came in and admitted to me that it was a coyote he found in his yard. I swear humiliation does not exist for people over 70 years old. 2 years ago, I was at my 4th of July family reunion, and my grandpa has never heard of the word shame. He's always been unhinged, including his style. So everyone pulled up with the usual t-shirt, shorts combo, or outfits similar to that. My grandpa comes strutting in 6-inch heels
and fishnets.
I had to take a second to look at this man's outfit, which also included a mini skirt and a corset top. And immediately I was like, does Grandpa have something to tell us? And don't get me wrong, he looked fabulous, but usually he wears cargo shorts and flip-flops. So as any concerned grandchild does, I went up to him and I said, "Grandpa, what are you wearing right now?" I could not believe what this man told me. He looked at me dead in the eye, took a breath, and he said, "Well, Pride Month may be over, but Grampy likes to dress in support from time to time." So I said, "You know what, that's great." And the next year, he left
my step-grandma for a man.
I don't know how I didn't see that one coming. But congrats and R.I.P. Grampy. So I don't know if you remember.
So you know our hamster we had last year?
Yeah?
You know how he's not here right now?
I actually didn't notice.
Do you know what happened?
No.
Okay, so last year I wanted to take him on a walk. So I took my hamster, and when I took him outside, there was a thunderstorm.
Okay.
Let's just say he might have got struck by lightning.
What? Chloe, what?
I haven't told anybody else. I want to tell my friends though, but it's probably not a good idea. I think Mom and Dad will be mad at me. I told my dad I released him and he's free now. Please. Please,